the second most accurate three-point shooter in the WNBA, just got told she's not good enough for a three-point contest. Read that again. Sophie Cunningham, top 2 in the entire league this season, didn't make the 6-name field for All-Star Weekend. And Caitlin Clark, her closest friend on the Indiana Fever, just responded in a way nobody saw coming. Not a tweet, not a soundbite, something that already has the entire league scrambling. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Clark finally couldn't stay silent. Why did the WNBA snub Sophie Cunningham? Drop your theory in the comments below.
On baseline, 2 seconds, 1 second, Cunningham. Hates it!
Now, we could have dribbled it out. Then Sabrina Cunningham gets hit.
Here at the end of this third quarter. Ooh, Cunningham. From the hash mark, yes, ma'am! Sophie Cunningham saying Caitlin Clark.
You gonna sing for us?
You don't want that.
Cunningham drills it.
Let's start with the question the league refuses to answer. How do you organize a shooting contest and leave out one of the best shooters on planet Earth? Sophie Cunningham is knocking down nearly 44% of her threes this season. That's second in the entire WNBA. And this isn't some 5-game heater inflating the numbers. It's a full season of elite shooting, the kind most players never touch once in a career. Now hold that number next to the 6 shooters who actually got the invite. Several are shooting in the mid-30s. The most generous rounding gets 1 or 2 near 38 or 39. Not a single member of that 6-name field is shooting anywhere close to Cunningham's level. If a three-point contest exists to crown the best shooter in the building, somebody built this one without ever opening the stat sheet. And it goes deeper than one season. Combine the last 2 years, and Cunningham owns the best three-point percentage in the entire league, not top 5. Number 1, across a 2-year sample big enough to erase any talk of luck. By the only measurement that's supposed to matter, she should have walked in as the favorite to win the whole thing.
On baseline, 2 seconds, 1 second, Cunningham. Hates it!
Now, we could have dribbled it out. Then Sabrina Cunningham gets hit.
Here at the end of this third quarter. Ooh, Cunningham. From the hash mark, yes, ma'am! Sophie Cunningham saying Caitlin Clark.
You gonna sing for us?
You don't want that.
Cunningham drills it.
And here's where Strange turns suspicious. She's not even the only Fever player skipped. Aliyah Boston actually leads the league in three-point percentage. No invite. Kelsey Mitchell, top 6 in efficiency with one of the deadliest jumpers in basketball. No invite. 3 shooters. 1 roster. All top 6 in the exact skill this contest celebrates. All left out. 1 omission is an oversight. 3 is a pattern. And if the stat sheet didn't decide this list, something else did. Maybe this was never about finding the best shooters at all. Maybe it's about deciding who's allowed to stand in the spotlight.
Cunningham sets her feet. Cunningham, that's what she does in the third quarter. Feel it. So those extra efforts. Cunningham, we'll get it clear. It can bring you closer together. Cunningham, feeling it. You don't want that.
Cunningham drills it.
All-Star Weekend is supposed to be simple. Earn it on the court, get your moment. But this field doesn't come from any clean formula. Coaches vote. League officials weigh in. There's a media component baked in too. And the second popularity and storylines get a seat at the table, outcomes like this stop being surprising and start being predictable. Fever fans have watched this movie for 2 straight years. Clark got left out of early season award conversations with numbers that would have cruised in any other year. Cunningham has been ignored on national broadcasts in the very games she was carrying. None of those moments feels huge on its own, but stack them side by side, and the pattern stops being subtle. Now weigh that against what this team actually does for the league. Fever games are selling out arenas on the road. Merchandise records keep falling. Casual fans who never watched a WNBA game before Clark arrived are showing up in droves. This roster is printing money for the entire league, and it's somehow the same roster that keeps missing the showcase moments. So ask the uncomfortable question out loud. Is the league afraid this team is getting too big for the room? Look at that contest field one more time and it stops reading like a merit list. It reads like a guest list. Names chosen first, stats used as decoration. And here's the wild part. The snub isn't even the worst thing the league did to Cunningham this year. Not even close.
I'm Sophie Cunningham. Do you know what was going through my mind at that moment? It all started when my teammate Caitlin Clark got shoved by DeWanna Bonner while playing defense and the two got into an argument. Watch the replay. It was clearly a foul by Bonner, but the referees gave Caitlin a technical foul instead. So I walked over and said to the officials, Caitlin got called, but why didn't Bonner? If Caitlin gets a tech, then Bonner should get one too. You can't call just one. While I was talking, I was pointing at Bonner. I never expected that gesture to make her so angry. She kept telling me to stop pointing at her, and that's when I did that stupid pointing gesture. I didn't say...
You already know the moment. After DeWanna Bonner's dust-up with Clark earlier this season, Cunningham turned toward Bonner and threw up the point, aimed right at her. 10 seconds of broadcast time. That's all it took to become one of the defining storylines of the Fever's season, clipped into 1,000 different versions before the game even ended.
I didn't say a single word. I just couldn't help myself. She was losing her mind, and all I was doing was pointing at her. Then, while she was at the free throw line and missed the shot, I did the same stupid gesture again. I honestly couldn't control myself. I never imagined that moment would explode all over the internet, cause such a huge reaction, and eventually become the now viral pointing meme. Now, do you understand? Do you think what I did was stupid?
And it didn't fade the way viral moments usually do. It multiplied. Memes stacked on memes. A cameo on a UFC broadcast. Fans doing the point at bars at youth games in group chats. In one clip, Cunningham built a signature identity that takes most players years to earn. Then, the hammer dropped. The Players Association branded the gesture derogatory and blocked it from official league licensing. No jerseys, no official merch, no league channel business built on the exact moment that made her more famous than ever. Now compare that to any random night in this league. Trash talk after and ones. Players nose-to-nose after tough buckets. Celebrations far more pointed than a finger across the court. No fines, no bans, no league memos. Veterans chirp rookies at the free throw line, and it's called competitive fire. So when 1 point at one player suddenly requires policy, the difference clearly isn't the gesture, it's who did it, and how big it got. And here's the almost funny part. The ban doesn't even stop the money. Cunningham can still cash in through her own deals and her own name rights. The league just guaranteed it won't share the upside. So follow the logic. They won't give her the all-star spotlight, and they won't let her own the moment she created herself. You can't ignore the talent and police the personality, unless controlling who gets to be a star was the point all along. Both punches landed in the same week. First, the contest field dropped without her name. Then, before fans even finished arguing about that, came word that her celebration was banned too. 2 public hits, 1 player days apart. Her response? 1 short, sarcastic tweet, essentially. So what else is new? No anger, no demand for an apology. Just a shrug in text form. From somebody who's seen this exact movie before and already knows how it ends. And that's the detail that made it sting. Nothing new. Fans have been keeping the list for her. The big performances that got buried on broadcasts, the setup work that turned into other players' headlines. Add the snub and the ban to that list, and the receipts stretch back a lot further than 1 bad week. The contrast is what made it explode. Cunningham stayed calm, almost amused, while her replies turned into a war zone. Fans posted her shooting splits next to all 6 invitees, tagged the league office, and demanded to know how a top 2 shooter misses a shooting contest. She never raised her voice because thousands of people were raising it for her. Teammates jumped in too, and the whole thread became a public audit of the league's decision, answered with total silence. And every hour of that silence just made it louder. But while all of this burned through the timeline, one person was watching every single reply and saying absolutely nothing. Yet, for days, Caitlin Clark went completely quiet. No tweet, no quote. Reporters tried to bait a reaction at press conferences. Nothing. Which, if you know Clark, is exactly on script. She never makes herself the story when a teammate is taking the hits. But the pressure kept building. Fans refreshed her feeds around the clock. Some swore she'd let it slide like she has before. Others said if she ever did respond, it wouldn't be with words. They were right. Clark had her own invitation to the three-point contest. She turned it down. That's the sentence sitting underneath this entire story. And her reason cut straight to the bone. The contest would be boring without Cunningham in it. Not scheduling, not rest. She said the quiet part on the record. A shooting contest missing one of the league's best shooters isn't worth her time either. Understand what that actually costs. Tweets are free. This was a guaranteed spotlight. Cameras, highlight packages, days of coverage. And she walked away from all of it on principle. Most stars in this spot post something polite about staying focused and move on. Clark skipped the diplomacy and went straight to the one move the league can't scroll past. An empty chair where its biggest star was supposed to sit. And she didn't stand alone. Kayla McBride and Sabrina Ionescu reportedly declined their invitations too. One player pulling out is a protest. 3 players stepping back around the same controversy is a crisis the league has to explain on camera, at an all-star weekend that was supposed to be a celebration. Clark grabbed the one thing the league truly cares about, star power and ratings, and pulled it back just far enough to make her point impossible to ignore. Sophie Cunningham never needed 6 league officials or a trophy to validate her jumper. The stat sheet did that months ago. Clark just made sure nobody could look away from it. And that's the recurring theme in Indiana, a team that keeps getting managed instead of promoted, and a league that keeps learning that every snub backfires louder than the last one. Fans see it. Players see it. And now an empty chair at All-Star Weekend says it louder than anyone could. 2026 isn't the year Indiana asks for a seat at the table. It's the year they take one, whether the league hands it over or not. So why did the WNBA really snub Sophie Cunningham? Tell me in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Click the video on your screen, and we'll see you in the next one.